Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near you, your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation, from east to west to north to south. Welcome to today's second Take 5. Happy Tuesday, September the 26th. We are closing in on 4 more days to the 7th of the Hebrew festivals. That is the Sukkoth, or the Feast of Booths, or Tabernacle, Feast of Tabernacle. So that's number 7 on the Hebrew calendar. That'll be coming out Thursday at sunset. So look forward to that. All right, a couple quick announcements before we bring Andrew and Bo on. Reawaken Doral.
Jesus is king. President Donald J. Trump is who we voted for. This guy's America's general. Ladies and gentlemen, boom. 3, 2, 1, boom. See you next time.
October 13th is Friday the 13th in Doral. So we're going to boomerang back on Satan. That's the day we're going to do the baptisms in Doral. We've already done about 6,000 baptisms at the Reawaken events already. All right, Tuesdays, Bo Polny, Andrew Sorchini, welcome. How you guys doing? Welcome back.
Wonderful.
A lot going on, isn't there?
Yes. Yesterday was Yom Kippur. Everybody's supposed to be blowing their trumpets yesterday. Huge day yesterday. So very exciting. God's about to move.
He is about to move. I can tell you that over the weekend, 3 different nations, Israel, the United States of America, and Canada, put in contingency plans, and they all believe a big event is going to happen. And then there's a message that's going to go out to the world after this event happens. So they're planning something imminent. I don't know if they know what, but they know they're on high alert and something imminent, and they're going to be able to respond to the world when this event happens.
I'd like to start with this, and then maybe Andrew can continue, but I want to start specifically yesterday. Okay, yesterday was September 25. Very important day yesterday. This was the holiest day of God's year, Yom Kippur. And when you read Leviticus 25, again, interesting, 25, 9 verse 10, it says, sound the trumpet on Yom Kippur, which was yesterday, September 25. And this is important. Proclaim liberty throughout all the land. It shall be a jubilee for you. All nations are judged on Rosh Hashanah, which was the 15th of September, and their final verdict is sealed by God on Yom Kippur, the Day of Judgment. Now, this is important because the evil ones have failed to repent. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they have failed to repent and turn from their wicked ways. And now, starting today into the end of the year, God is now going to He's going to bring vengeance upon the ones that have mocked him. And, we've got this October is going to be exciting, a lot going on. And then we got November, which is Thanksgiving season. Well, again, that which a man soweth, thus shall he reap. That's Thanksgiving. And that leads us into the end of the year. So lots to talk about. And I really excited to be here. And I'm really glad. And I really actually hope that people have been listening, have been reaching out to Andrew and making some very wise choices, because I'm telling you, starting now into the end of the year, it's game on for God. And it's going to be historic what happens to the US dollar into the end of the year and then continuing into next year. It's going to be historic and horrific. It depends if you've prepared. So what are you seeing on your end, Andrew?
Kind of the calm before the storm out here. It's really, right now is just an excellent time for people to make moves with their portfolio in regards to gold and silver, because silver's sitting at $23 an ounce. I hear it costs about $20 an ounce just to even mine each ounce of silver out there. So it's like, it's clearly being manipulated. This isn't conspiracy talk. We know that it is. And one of these days, real soon, silver is going to be able to realize its true value, and they're going to let it run. And everybody out there is going to be glad that they have what they have. But really, this feeling that there's an event coming is everybody's feeling it. Like, really, this is the calm before the storm. People should reach out to us. We can show you how to protect your portfolio with gold and silver while it's available, while we can ship.
And when you say something imminent is going to happen, you're not kidding. Literally, Israel, the nation of Israel, high-ranking generals, Canada, and the United States are preparing for something imminent. And that includes the financial system as well. It's coming. Everything we talked about is on the doorstep.
I'd like to read. I sent a link over to your staff if they can put it up. If not, don't worry about it. But I'd like to read page 12 of the PDF presentation. It's titled Crash of Biblical Proportions. And I'll read it here. While everyone thinks all is well, an event is coming that will cause the ground to shake, volcanoes to erupt, and markets to collapse. It is coming and cannot be stopped. God's 50th year began The Jubilee year began on Rosh Hashanah of last year, September 22nd, and ended on Yom Kippur, which was yesterday, September 25, 2023. It is on this day that God makes his final decision about our new year, which begins in January 2024. And as the evil ones, the global elite, have refused to repent and turn from their wicked ways, the Lord God will now bring vengeance, which is written in Isaiah 61, upon the evil ones into year end. Beginning in 2024, the evil ones will have lost control of America and their financial system. The system used to build Mystery Babylon will have begun to crumble. In 2024, the financial collapse will then accelerate. America is about to fall for a season for its rebellion against God, which is written in Revelation 18, verses 9 through 10, and Daniel 2:34. Buckle your seatbelts for what is about to go down. The world as we know it is about to come to an end, and a new era is about to be birthed. Galatians 4, verse 4, and Matthew 6:10. This birth will cause the rug to be pulled out from underneath everything the elite have built, and they will fall. Their time is up, and all their perversions are about to be revealed. They will lose their grip and control of humanity as their dollar crumbles and America witnesses a crash of biblical proportions that forces the elite to return what they have stolen from the church, from us, from the world. This is Proverbs 13:22. This will be the greatest financial event in human history, as God's money, gold and silver, will begin to glitter. Matthew 13, verse 22. We are about to be freed from bondage of the global elite, and their plans will be crushed with their economy into year end. Nixon took us off the gold standard in 1971, and the petrodollar was enacted in 73. The value of everything has now become meaningless and has become blatantly obvious as these past few years. The current financial system is now worthless. Thus, the stock market is worthless, as it is backed by nothing but lies. As is their money, the dollar, the Federal Reserve note is nothing but a big lie now. The dollar-based financial system is built on sand, and the world is about to find out that the bond markets, the stock markets, the real estate markets are about to collapse beginning this fall and continuing into the summer of next year, 2024. This will be the worst crash in history of the world. There will be panic, fear, and shock. Rioting will break out in reaction, and martial law will be declared. All of this is coming, and I'm here sounding the alarm with Pastor Dave and Andrew to prepare.
What you just read is confirmed. There is somebody that I was just with over the weekend that put the video together that represented the prophetic side, the government side, and also high-level military. We're all in these meetings, and they have created a video to calm people when this event happens. So it's prepared. They're ready to launch it as soon as this event happens.
One last line is, it is now a time of final preparation to store up some extra food and water and extras. The shelves will go bare. America is about to fall for a season as it is chastised by the Lord for its sins. They will try to blame Trump, but it's not going to work. So again, this is a time of final preparation, food, water, things that you normally would, need in the house, medications, whatever it is. And lastly, with Andrew being here, this is an excellent time to talk further about, preparing financially, because many people have sizable portfolios, IRAs, 401ks. I'm just telling you, that's a Babylonian system.
Yep.
401ks, it's a Babylonian paper money system. And Pastor Dave explained to us, what is written in the Bible, but testing things with fire. And the petrodollar contract, there's no more petro in the dollar. Saudis have signed with the BRICS. There's no more petro in the dollar. It's just a paper contract. Pastor Dave, what does God say in the Bible about testing things with fire? Particularly in this case, paper money.
Exactly. Only things that can be tested through the fire are, that's what the bronze was all about. That's the fire judgment that comes upon. And that's why God used those elements, silver, gold, that can withstand the fire. That fire is coming. At Babylonian system is about ready to be dealt with sooner than anybody can imagine. I don't know the date, but I know the preparations are in place. I've witnessed it personally within the last few days. And they're all, just like Andrew said, It's the quiet before the storm, because it's coming and it's time to get prepared now. We do have, Andrew, if you want to talk about, this is something I told you Clay brought to my attention and you text me. That's up on the screen about what we were talking about coming. It's here, Citi and JP Morgan.
Yeah, some of the big banks now are allowing for their institutional clients to be able to transfer funds internationally using a blockchain-based token system. So a lot of the times you hear about crypto, and we call things like Ethereum crypto, but Ethereum isn't really crypto; it's a token. And so is Dogecoin and XRP. Some of these are tokens, and these are the future of the banking system, because if our coins and if our dollars aren't backed by anything real, then why do we need to have anything physical that we're transferring amongst each other when the powers that be out there, the central banks can track everything that we do if our transactions are all seen on the blockchain. So we've seen Citibank now has already started this. JP Morgan is about to. And also I saw that a multi-billion-dollar bank in Australia has now canceled all cash transactions. There's no more transacting in cash through this bank at all. So everything now is going to be electronic. So it's happening. Like, this isn't conspiracy theory. This is such a radical idea that's happening right now in our lifetime, right before our eyes. That the currency that we've been using since the day we understood what money is all but gone. So gold and silver have always been the world's currency for thousands of years. It's in the Bible, and you should have a chunk of it for yourself to be able to offer some insurance to your portfolio as we transition into this, because the transition won't be easy. We've been using this system, this fiat system, for so long that I think we're going to hit a rough road here for a little bit.
And I think I mentioned to you, Andrew, coming back from New Hampshire with General Flynn, a lot of his Glory family members that have already gotten silver and gold had a sense of peace to them. They know it's coming and they're prepared. And that gives you a lot of peace when you're prepared.
We talked about cash, right? Or actually, Andrew, you've just referenced the word cash. And then we've talked in prior podcasts many times about cash. Now, why is that an issue for the global elite? It's very simple, because go back to the 70s, right? In the 70s, there wasn't the word billion. There wasn't $1 billion. Now we're in the quadrillions. So let's reiterate, okay? 1,000 million is a billion, 1,000 billion is a trillion, and 1,000 trillion is a quadrillion. If you wanted to count to $1 trillion, anyone, if you want, it's seconds, it would take you 33,000 years.
Jeez.
Okay, so the point is, since we're in the quadrillions, there's so much digital money that's been created. Remember, when all they need when the stock market crashed, they just put they create a couple zeros and put it in front of a one, and then you got another trillion. So it's all they do is create money. And so because there's so much money in circulation in the world, that's why particularly you've seen in the past 3 years, housing prices, many of them have doubled in certain areas. Because why? It's the amount of circulation and money circulation. They created double the amount of money in the world is created probably in the past 2 years, 3 years. And thus the home values have doubled in the past 2 years, because simply it's a money supply thing. And so if they had to create paper to account for all of the digits created, you'd have to cut down every tree in the world. And there probably wouldn't be enough trees. So therefore, this is the reason they must get rid of cash, because if there's a bank run for the cash, so let's say someone might have 100 grand in the account, another person might have a few hundred grand, another person might have 1 million. After the 1 or 2, 3 people, there's no more, the bank is empty. And that's what a bank run is when the people realize that the bank is empty. And so they have to get rid of paper because they've created so many digits in the world. There just isn't enough trees to make the paper, that digits that have been created to make paper out of it. So that is why the global elite are going digital, and they're moving to blockchain, or they're moving to the central currencies they're trying to create, is because there literally is not enough There aren't enough trees in the world. So I hope that gives people an understanding as to how they're moving from a paper system to a digital system. And then the digital system gives them control, because they can monitor things. And again, they can't control certain blockchains, but they can control their own currency. So they're trying to create what's called a central bank digital currency, because they can monitor that. And basically, that gives them, again, the key word for them always is control.
Yep.
Wow.
It's all about control.
Well, there's a lot there. And for people that might not understand, the block, when something trades on the blockchain, it's not governed by somebody who's like the boss of it that can go in and make corrections. All transactions are final. And that's another benefit to some of the central banks wanting to have their own currency, their own token that they can actually control. And it's too much. Like if they're taking, they're drawing the cash out of our mattresses, underneath our mattresses. Like they're making it so that you will have no need for cash. And I'm seeing that happen here too, because I'm getting calls where people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and they're wanting to drive down here and meet with us, or they want to know if they can ship smaller amounts of cash to us, which we cannot accept that. But the cash is coming out of the mattresses, coming out of the sock drawers in the whole country, and maybe even the whole world, because this isn't just the end of the dollar. It's going to be the end of all the major currencies out there as we go digital. So for me, I'm going to grip on to the past and have my gold and silver and continue to educate people on owning gold and silver. And really, like Bo has said before, if we go to a central bank digital currency that is gold backed, then that means that the gold and silver prices are going to skyrocket. This could be the event that we've been waiting for, where gold and silver are allowed to run like we know that they can and will. We just don't know when.
Yeah, I would say that the central banks will never allow gold and silver to see true price. The word is true price discovery, correct, Andrew? So a true price discovery would mean, like, let's say Andrew was saying right now, silver, like we've talked forever, they're never going to let silver go above $25. Why? Because if silver went above $25, the dollar becomes worth less. And they can't control humanity. So they want to keep their dollar strong and silver weak and gold weak in terms of prices. So that's what they've been doing forever. Now, the central banks, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because basically the collapse of the US dollar even if a dollar crashes in a Babylonian money system, because a friend of mine a long time ago, it's basically said, he kind of knew people on the inside, there's going to be two crashes of the US dollar. Okay. The first will be man-made. Okay. Well, we're starting to see that now. It'll be about a 30% haircut of the dollar, but I'm telling you, I don't believe that is going to be directly related to a historic explosion on silver and gold. We might see silver and gold take off vertical. Okay. But we're not going to see, like, true price discovery for silver right now might be $600 an ounce. Okay. So that would be my opinion. Again, my opinion of true price discovery, where silver should be right now anywhere between $600 and $1,000 an ounce, based on the money supply, maybe even higher. Okay, so we might see silver go to 30 or 60 bucks an ounce very quickly. Okay, but that's still there. That's still in the controls of their system. And so the big one is when silver breaks free and goes triple digits, so it goes into the hundreds. And again, because damages are sevenfold, so 7 times 20 is $140, right? And so that's damages. So when you see silver break $100, that means God's involved in this equation, because we know immediately damages are sevenfold, and then you get blessings 30, 60, 100-fold. And those 30, 60, 100-fold blessings, you're talking 30 would be $600 silver. 60 would be double that, and then you're looking silver going into $2,000 to $2,500 based on biblical blessings. Okay, they will never ever allow that to happen, ever. because they want their central bank currency, their US dollar, to always have value. See, so that's why we're going to see a biblical intervention. Daniel 2, verse 34. A stone carved out by no human hand comes in and just knocks down that statue of Babylon, been standing 2,500 years. So that's what's coming. And when God intervenes, so we might see before year end, explosion in the price of silver, but that's only a teaser. That's only a teaser to what's coming, because when God fully intervenes, they will lose control. We will see true price discovery. Silver is going to go in the $600 range, $1,000, $2,000 range, okay, per ounce. And these are biblical blessings that they will never want to have. They will never, ever allow that to happen, but it's coming because God will not be mocked. These people have had their time and it's over. So God's about to intervene. The Kim Clement prophecy said, is very specific, and he will raise a simple stone, right? Remember the word gold, right? Mm-hmm. So that means God's going to intervene, and it's going to be not their plan. This is critical. It won't be their plan. It'll be God's plan.
And President Trump gave a little nugget the other day about gold. It wasn't a Freudian slip. It was a code. He knows exactly what's coming, and it's coming soon. Andrew, there's three things that I hear all the time from 401k, IRA. How do they bring those over to physical silver and gold? And the other is we brought this up a couple times. What happens in the market when 10% people realize they start purchasing silver and gold? What does that trigger?
Oh, yeah. So it's estimated that 1 to 2% of Americans see the value in owning gold and silver and what it can do for your portfolio and the insurance that it provides for everything that you've ever worked for, and helps protect your family. Literally just 1 to 2%, because it's really there's so many people that come here from other countries where they have had different or like a series of different problems. It could be political, it could be a war where they end up having to come here and they have like refugee status. People that have been through that, they understand that you need gold and silver. But here in America, we've had it so good for so long, people don't really understand it. And that's why we want to carry the message to those people. But if we were to go from 1 to 2% to say 10%, if 10% of America understood the value of gold and silver and acted on obtaining some for their portfolio, then that would just blow through the available supply. It would. And that would happen if we could see another big bank go down. If another big bank failed and or had to be bailed out or bought by, say, Chase or Wells Fargo, that would be the event that gets us there. So it really is. So few people here in America understand this value, but I think as we start to head toward this change, where we start to go digital and the dollar is no longer carries the value that it did for so long, I think that people will start to wake up, and we'll be here every week trying to get people to trying to educate people on how this can help them. And as far as the retirement accounts, that's one of the best ways that I can think of how it can help you. You can roll over an existing 401k or an IRA that might hold stocks. You can roll that over into a precious metals IRA without it even being a taxable event. So if you call up your broker and say, hey, I'm thinking about taking my 401k or my IRA elsewhere, they'll tell you it's a bad idea. They'll tell you that it will create a taxable event, but it's not true. They just want to keep you there. They want to keep you in the centralized banking system where you're in stocks and different assets that they can control. With gold and silver, they don't want you to get gold and silver, because when the funds leave their custodian and go into a custodian that handles precious metals IRAs, oftentimes those funds never make it back there, and they know this. So they'll tell you that investing in gold and silver is a bad idea. But we can get these accounts open very quickly. 401ks take about a week. The IRAs can take 2, sometimes 3 weeks, but there's still plenty of time for us to be able to get this done for you. And doing it during the calm before the storm, probably the best time to do it.
Yeah, because that event, we don't know what the event is, but I know that there was one that we were really close on in the Ukraine. A couple generals told me about it. I think we're in the clear, but just say a nuclear bomb went off in Ukraine and they blame it on Russia.
that's your event right there.
Yeah.
And that almost happened. That almost happened.
We've also heard prophetic words about a submarine. Okay, several prophets have spoken that. Okay, they're not submarines, they're much more than that. They're nuclear submarines. Okay. It's interesting that movie Hunt for Red October. We got
Yep.
October in next week starting.
Yep.
Okay. And these Masons, they're 33 degrees. Masons, that's the top of the food chain. Well, that movie came out 33 years ago. If you know that or not. So
Wow.
Hunt for Red October came out 33 years ago. And so now we got this October coming in right here. We've had several prophetic words about specifically in relation to submarines and then things getting exposed. They're going to have a plan to do something with a submarine. But then again, nothing. They will, Matthew 24, there you'll hear of war. I want to tell this very clearly. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not deceived, for the end is not yet. Very important. The end is not yet. This is not World War III. So whatever happens, do not freak out. Okay. Just be patient because God's got this. These are the beginnings of birth pains. Remember, when Babylon falls, got to understand this. When one falls, another is born. So when Babylon, the great has fallen, she's become a dwelling place for demons. Okay. When Babylon falls, God's kingdom is birthed. God's kingdom is the kingdom of honest transactions, honest money. So therefore, God's money, gold and silver, are going to explode in value because it's his money. It'll be his kingdom. And when God's kingdom's rising, their Babylonian funny money system is simply collapsing. And the second collapse of the dollar will be by the hand of God. And that's in a few years from now, where the dollar literally, by the end of this decade, will be worth zero. Mark my words, by the end of this decade, the US dollar, and it's not going to zero right now, it's going to be devalued, it's going to be worth less in a few more years from now, and then worthless by the end of the decade. And so those that are holding, the dollar, you're going to find out, it's forever. It's been, a good thing to hold the dollar for for 100 years now, whatever. It's because we've been growing up with that. But we're at a point in time where we're in biblical times. So you got to throw your mindset out. It's gone. We're in biblical times. Look what's going on in the world. So you got to take away that old mindset and step forward and understand where things are going to drastically change. And the dollar system you grew up with is about to have a major haircut. Okay. It's going to change. And then also Andrew talks about people coming up with cash to go buy precious metals with Andrew. It's an extremely wise decision. This is just my opinion, but why? Because I'm telling you, okay, the next virus that comes out, they're going to peg it to being caught on catch on paper. So that's the reason they're going to completely wipe out paper in terms of currency or transactional ability in the future. So if you don't get rid of your paper now, okay, in the future, they won't accept it because they're going to say, oh, that's tainted with the new virus, and no one will touch those dollars. I'm telling you, it's coming. So, but again, this is a beautiful thing about gold and silver, and those who understand biology and physics, how it works, okay? Precious metals, especially silver, no virus can bind to it. It's antiviral. So the silver is the greatest money because no virus in history can touch that. That's why in the old days, when you go farm, the farmers would have milk in a jug. They would throw a silver coin into the milk, and it would last for weeks.
Wow.
The part that you were talking about with the cash and the virus, I had a general of another country about 5 days ago tell me word for word what you just said.
Yep.
Wow.
Coming. Be wise, people. We're here to give you wisdom. Just pray on it.
Yep. It's for people out there just kind of breaking down the petrodollar situation in Saudi Arabia joining BRICS. When Saudi Arabia joins the BRICS nations and They have the goal of de-dollarizing the entire globe and creating a central bank digital currency. So we've had it so good for years because these other countries have needed to stockpile, have reserves of dollars, of US dollars, because that's what oil was trading in. But now as we start to go away from that, those dollars are going to find their way back here in America. And those dollars aren't backed by anything real. So we're going to be flooded with worthless paper, which again will end the dollar. It will. I believe that will happen. It doesn't mean we're not going to fight back and that we're not going to have our own victory, because it has all been decided anyway. But we do have to prepare ourselves in the meantime.
Yeah, I would just say that concept of the dollar is about to be changed forever. Now, that's not a bad thing, okay? The point is, if you're grabbing onto this world and you love this, because remember, biblically, right, you're to be in this world. We are to be in this world, not of the world. So what that statement is basically saying, and this is scriptural, it says, it's the people that are of the world, that's the problem. If you're of the world, means you're holding on so tight, you love everything the world offers, right? But biblically, you got to understand the world is fleeting. Okay. What we are really here for is to be with Jesus. The goal is not to have everything here on earth, because that's what Satan did to Jesus in the garden or in the wilderness. Bow down to me and I'll make you a king on this earth. And Jesus is like, it's all mine already. So the point is, you understand, right? But these people on this world, these globalists, these elite people, they bow down. They bow down to Satan. They sold their soul. I know this is crazy for some people, but it happened. This is real. Evil is real. And so is Jesus. That's the good part, right? So as real as evil is, so is Jesus. Arthur Pawlowski, I love the statement when I interviewed him. This is what he said. He goes, evil, Satan, the evil ones, is only a creation. The creation is about to meet the fist of the creator. So the creator, massive, right? Then there's a little creation. And so the point is, everything, when the creation meets the creator, it's game over. You know who wins.
Right.
Read the book. At the end of the book, we win, right? And so we're just playing, we're going through time, but the ultimate goal is to be in this world and not of it. Don't hold on to the world. There's nothing to hold on to. It's a fleeting world. You have to understand that. And so you got to prepare for what's coming in the future. And so, if you're grabbing onto the world, you're holding on to the paper system, it's so important to you. That's the problem, because you're holding on too tight. Learn to love Jesus, and then everything becomes less important. So I hope that kind of gives a bit of an understanding about the money supply, because ultimately when God flips the tables, he will, okay, his money's going to explode in price. And so if you're prepared financially, if you had 401ks, if you had IRAs, I don't know how the whole thing works, but Andrew's a pro at it. His staff are awesome at it. They blow through that stuff in a week, right? And so I've had many people reach out to me, and I'd pass them over to Andrew, and Andrew, takes care of them within a week usually. Some is quicker, some is 2 weeks. But the point is that these people, they take in their 401ks, their IRAs, they're no longer in paper. They're actually, it's physical gold or physical silver or both, stored in a private depository outside the banking system.
Beverly Hills Precious Metals Exchange is a client-focused firm devoted to assisting our clients with precious metals. Our clients range from first-time to serious coin collectors and investors seeking to add precious metals to their investment portfolios. We are not interested in volatile investments, leveraged products, and intangible assets. With rising inflation and the devaluing of the dollar hurting middle-class families, investing in gold and silver ensures protection for your hard-earned money. Save the value of your money today by investing in gold and silver at Beverly Hills Precious Metals.
It's physical gold or physical silver or both, stored in a private depository outside the banking system. Expand on that. And then secondly, talk about also in 6 months or 2 years from now, if they want to pull out some of that, let's say the price exploded exponentially, right, biblically, and they want to now go buy some land. They want to do some things for God's kingdom. How do they do it?
Okay, so those are some great questions. We do offer a storage option where you can have it stored at a depository. It's not stored here at our office or anything like that. It's actually a depository that has billions and billions and billions of dollars of gold and silver. The one that I personally use is located in Delaware, and we actually have the bulk of our inventory stored there. And it's really great because when people do IRA business with us through their retirement accounts, someone might roll over, say, $200,000 from their retirement to hold gold and silver. We sell them the gold and silver, and that gold and silver needs to be stored at a depository. And since our account is at the depository, all we have to do is just send a transfer form. It moves the gold and or silver from our account into your account. But this isn't paper gold and silver, it's physical gold and silver. So whether it be through a storage account or through an IRA account that stores there, if you ever needed to withdraw funds from there, you just let us know. So people call us a lot right now, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a financial crunch with all people out there. So we have people that are saying, hey, I need to get my hands on $10,000. You know what I have. So Andrew, take a look at what I have and let me know, what product should I part with for me to get $10,000 in return, and how do I go about it? We just email them a form where they sign, and then we submit it to the IRA custodian, and it gets transferred into our account, and then we wire funds back to the IRA custodian, which the funds are then sent to the client. And we do this every single day, like many times every single day. So for the non-IRA accounts, the storage account option is great because you can set it up as a joint account with rights of survivorship. So literally I could set up an account, say for me and my wife, where it's a joint account, but she gets beneficiary rights. Should something happen to me, then it just transfers directly to her, and you don't have to go through probate. And the reason why the storage facility is in Delaware is that Delaware is one of those states that's kind of like a business state, where they have these old grandfather laws like Utah and Nevada have, and it's just a great place for you to have it for that reason. So let's say that something happened and you got in a really bad accident and somebody got hurt in the other car. Let's say it's a car accident, and they wanted to go out after you and sue you and try to find your assets. Well, those assets aren't reported that are sitting in the depository. It cannot be discovered by anybody out there. Where alternatively, if you were in an accident and somebody got hurt, they could just look up Andrew Sorchini, just a simple web search, find out what property I own, and then they could figure out, slick attorney can figure out how much they might be able to sue you for. And it's like, I know that these are terrible examples, but these are things that happen every single day. So you want to be able to have your product stored at a place that's safe, that has privacy, and it is insured while it's there too. It's even insured against what they call acts of God. And in Florida and in California, some of the insurance companies don't even want to give you insurance anymore. Even a simple homeowner's policy is very difficult to get. State Farm and Allstate don't even do home insurance or policies here in California anymore. Completely done. So to me, the depository option is real. It's audited every single year, and it doesn't take you long to be able to liquidate or receive your product if you want to have it sent to you directly. It's just a great option.
Well, that's two things that I didn't know about. One, the insurance, and the other is that it's protected. How do they protect it that nobody knows about it?
It's
something in the law.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've actually had accounts there for more than 15 years. But I was meeting with, I had dinner with one of the higher ups over at the IRA custodian that we use. And he asked me, could I bring another gentleman along? And the person he brought along was the owner and founder of the Delaware Depository, who he started the business himself with just a single gun safe. He laughs about it when he tells the story. He said, I started with a single gun safe in our office and offered storage options to people out there. And now they're so big that the U.S. Mint actually uses the same company that we store at to verify gold and silver that they purchase from the people that provide the gold and silver that they use to make the coins with for the U.S. Mint. So they're big time. He explained to me some of the security measures that they have. So they have like one building that only has silver eagles. They have another building that only has gold eagles, and they're not in the same location. They're spread out a little bit too. They have some of the most futuristic technology to protect even against people that work there. So when you walk in and you work there, you walk through this thing that kind of x-rays everything on your body. So if you have, say, a necklace with a coin in it, it remembers that. And if you come out with more metal than you came in with, it knows. And it's like, it's just mind blowing, some of the technology. He talked about it for at least an hour without breathing. And I loved listening to every second of it. I just wish I could have recorded it, because it made me feel very, very safe about what we have there. Like, we have millions of dollars of our company product stored there. All the His Glory, or about 90% of the His Glory gold and silver coins, are stored there because they're going into retirement accounts. I have them ship that product for the cash transactions directly to our clients. So it doesn't make sense to have it shipped here and then we have to open it up, look at it, box it up, and send it back out. It's better to just have them ship it. They have cameras and everything recording when they package them up. So the facility is just they have my utmost confidence. And we've been opening so many accounts with them for people, even on cash transactions, people that maybe you live in an apartment building or a condo building and you don't feel safe having large amounts of gold and silver stored at the location that you live at. Fine, you can go with the storage option. And if you decide you don't need the storage option at some point, you can put an end to it and just close the account and have it sent to you. So it really is a good option. People should go out to our website and fill out the online form. And if the storage option is something you want to know more about, we would be happy to explain it to you.
I have a question for you both. You know, when we first started this a couple of years ago, talking about what was coming, and all this is coming to fruition right before our very eyes, I think we were talking maybe 20-25% of your assets to be in silver and gold. What would you both recommend now? Because we're in far different circumstances than we were a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I would say this. Maybe I can start. I don't want to give anybody financial advice. This is where people literally need to close their eyes, pray, and do what feels right in their own heart. So that's the best answer I can give anybody, because it's all of the world is at a point. It started in the garden with free will. Like, it always been about free will. That's where the start of evil was. It's always been about free will. You got to make your own choice. But go back to what I read earlier. The paper monetary system you know today is now worthless. I'm going to repeat that. The paper monetary system you now know today is worthless. So you might, feel like you have a bunch of digits in the bank. You go to your bank account, you see a bunch of zeros, okay? A 1, 2, 3, a bunch of zeros after it. It's money created out of thin air. It's a worthless fiat-based money system created out of thin air, okay? So this goes back to, like Andrew referenced, insurance. Okay, do you have home insurance? Do you have car insurance? Do you have health insurance? If you have $1 million in your bank account, or if you have $10,000 in your bank account, do you have insurance on that money in the bank? And the insurance is, if you don't have gold and silver, you do not understand history. You do not understand finance. You don't understand the history of finance, because there's never been a currency in the history of 5,000-6,000 years that's ever lasted more than 100 years. This US dollar has the longest run so far, but everything comes to an end. And if you do not have insurance on your money in the bank, okay, so to me, the answer is the less digits I have in the bank and the more ounces I own, the better I sleep. And that's the best answer I can give you.
And he said that with a smile, because he's truly living it.
It's true. It's for me, I think my answer depends on how much a person is working with as far as their net worth. So you could be a wealthy person that owns property and have very little cash, at which point I would say try to have about 20% of your portfolio in gold and silver. Again, I'm not a financial advisor either. It's just that seems to be the amount that would be a good diversification of what you have available that's liquid. So if you have a much higher net worth, if you're somebody that's maybe sitting on the high 6 figures, 7 figures, or even 8 figures, then you know what I'm talking about. It's very, very nervous feeling looking at that big number in the bank account and just thinking about all of the bad things that could happen and all the different ways that you can lose it. So even owning physical gold and silver, which to me is the solution, you still do have a certain degree of fear because you want to keep it somewhere safe where no one knows about it and people aren't going to hurt you or your family trying to get it from you. But it's I'm seeing people with the larger net worth come in with really big money. We're seeing a lot of 7-figure deals for gold and silver right now, sometimes 2, 3 a week, and 500,000 size deals, several a day. And to Bo's point, there's so much money out there now compared to what there was, say, 10 years ago. I can see it. It's evident because 10 years ago, we would have a $500,000 deal maybe once a month. And now we're having several a week. So I can only imagine what it would be like if we continued on this course. If central bank digital currencies weren't coming, if having token-based bank accounts weren't coming, where would the dollar be 10 years from now? And in comparison, where will gold and silver be 10 years from now? I think I like the prospects of the tangible assets a lot more than the fiat assets at this point.
I want to say this as well, too. If your staff could be so kind, Pastor Dave, and click on page 36. This is a new chart that the Lord revealed to me yesterday. And I think Andrew and you are, Pastor Dave, are going to really appreciate this chart. This is a chart of the U.S. dollar. God revealed to me how to understand the cycle of the U.S. dollar. And this goes back 2 years and 9 months. And the entire cycle has been 100% accurate for 2.9 years, or 2 years, 9 months. What it basically is showing is that the US dollar in January of 2021 went for a rise. It topped in October, and this is where October, November, where I was buying all that precious metals from you, Andrew. Okay, we bought the exact bottom of gold and silver, particularly silver, and that was the top of the dollar. That was in late October 2022. You can see this chart. Then it dropped down. We had a low in January 2023. We had another low in March 2023. And the third low was in July 2023. That's it. We rose up into point D, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, right here, right now. I haven't revealed the rest of the chart. It's in our, you guys will get it in your private update that I send out to my subscribers. But I'm telling you very clearly that point D right here, right now, is the top of the dollar. Right on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. It's going to turn down now. It's going to drop in October. It's going to drop harder in November. And it's going to get horrible next year, 2024. It's finished. It's over. The dollar is about to be dead. It's about to die. It's going to lose its status as the world reserve currency. Everything we've talked about is about to manifest. And I truly, truly hope people have listened to what we've talked about.
Right here, right now, Van Halen. President Trump just sent out a message with right here, right now, 2 days ago, talking about this as well. So amazing. I'll let you guys close up. Last remarks.
On my end, if you would like to reach out to us and learn more about anything that we've talked about today, please just go to our website. It's bh-pm.com. And I'll repeat it. It's bh-pm.com. And there's an online form there. Put in your first name, last name, email address, phone number, and any questions that you have. Like I want to learn how to roll over a 401k. Put that down in the notes section. I'm interested in the storage option. Put that in the notes section, and I can get you to the right associate here. Right now, the response time is very, very quick on us getting back with you. So we're not having people complain and say, hey, I've reached out to Beverly Hills a few times and they're not getting back with me. This is the calm before the storm. This is when the smart money is out there making moves. And it is at the end of the year anyway. So this is a time when you may want to consider reshuffling some of your investments and be ready to head into this new year, which is going to be a volatile one because it's an election year. So you definitely want to be prepared.
I would say this. A gold rush, a silver rush of biblical proportions is so close you don't even understand. It's going to be incredible. God will not be mocked. These people have controlled humanity with their money system, with their money magic for generations. We have not had a jubilee, which is stated in Leviticus, for hundreds of years. It's coming. And so when the jubilee manifests, gold and silver will explode, the dollar will crash. We're going to have the greatest gold rush, the greatest silver rush the world has ever seen. I've prepared. I know Pastor Dave is prepared, and I know Andrew's prepared. I hope people have listened. Again, we're just messengers. We're shouting in the wilderness. Prepare the way. It's coming. You can't stop what's coming. God bless everybody.
God bless. And that, again, in closing, the reason why God is doing this is for his bride, for this great billion soul harvest outpouring. It's all for his glory, literally for his glory, to bring souls. And it's not to get people rich and mansions and Corvettes and all that kind of stuff. It is to preach the kingdom from east to west and north to south.
And also, this is important because it's what was stolen from us in the garden, our inheritance. Yep. God made everything and then made man. Everything on this earth was for us. Evil stole it from us. Proverbs 13:22 states, the wealth of the sinner who stole it from us is stored up for the righteous to build his kingdom on earth. It's coming.
Amen. It's coming. All right, that wraps up today's Take 5. God bless you, and go in his shalom.